Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show. It's Tuesday and in the studio, Alan Rough and Hugh MacDonald of the Daily Mail. We'll be looking ahead to the Premiership fixtures and of course, it's only Tuesday. We're still talking about what happened on Sunday. Yes, welcome to the Football Show. Lots to get our teeth into, so let's concentrate first of all on the SFA's notice of complaint. They've offered Ryan Kent a 2-match ban. We can no longer talk about the alleged offence now. It's the same as holding up OJ's glove, I suppose, Hugh, as far as this one's concerned.
Or in this case, Muhammad Ali's glove. Yeah, it looked a pretty open and shut case, didn't it? And I think he'll accept the 2-game ban and move on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a strange one at the time. I can't believe everybody missed it. But now, I think everybody was waiting on the SFA picking up on this one.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw it. You know, I think fortunately for Kent, Brown actually ducked away from it and pulled his head away from it, which didn't make it look as bad as what it would have been if he'd actually fully contacted with him. You know, so no, I don't think we'll see an appeal in this one. And I would think, and I've said this on numerous occasions, not just because of him, if there is an appeal and something ridiculous as this, they should be given extra games.
Yeah, I mean, the fallout from this game is incredible again. Sometimes I think there's a real overreaction that doesn't apply to certain other Category A games, Hugh. We now have a situation where the SFA are looking at, Celtic and Rangers could be fined for failing to control their players at the final whistle. Then we have a situation where apparently there was a police report on Scott Brown's goading of the Rangers fans, which the Crown Office have said, look, that's the sporting authorities to deal with. That's not criminal.
Yeah, I mean, there's been an awful lot of nonsense absolutely spouted and spewed out, frankly, for the weekend. There seems to be, I'm not underplaying what's happening in Scottish football, and nobody can underplay if you've got people getting hit by coins, if you've got incidents after the match in town centres where football fans are being stabbed. We've got to take that seriously. I'm not underplaying it. But there's an element of hysteria going about at the moment which doesn't really truly relate to what's going on. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, for all this, they're talking about this shame game, this derby game. You're talking about 6 arrests out of 60,000 people. You know, come on. Let's not condone anything, but let's try and get a bit of perspective around this, a bit of context around this. Yes, there are things that have to be addressed. Behaviour of supporters inside the ground, singing of certain songs, absolutely. But let's address them in a proper way, as in, how do we police this? How do we steward this? How do we make it a safe environment for the vast majority of fans? I mean, as you know now, I'm going off in a bit of a rant here, apologies, but I'm now a paying fan and go to games. And the way sometimes the vast majority of fans are peace-loving, law-abiding people, and they're getting treated in many cases like frankly, scum.
Yeah, and the other thing here, which I think some people have lost a sense of perspective on, Roughie, is Scott Brown. He seems to be public enemy number one, much the same as Neil Lennon was viewed when he was a player. And I'm not quite sure if it's because of the winning team and they look for the kingpin among them, but Scott Brown, quite simply, was at the centre of things on the field, which even Barry Ferguson mentioned yesterday. If you're a player, you try and derail the opposition. You know, whether they take the bait or not is open to debate. What's not open to debate is Alfredo Morelos decided to take action, and so did Ryan Kent. They lost their discipline.
Yeah, you have to in these kind of games, and we've saw it down through the years. We've seen lots of players basically losing their discipline, and it's generally when you're on the losing side, and that's when you've got to be big enough to handle the situation, and unfortunately some of the players didn't. But as I touched on it with Scott Brown, I thought he behaved himself impeccably in the last Ibrox game when Celtic were absolutely beaten to a pulp nearly in the game. Scott Brown had an awful game in that particular game, but at the end of it, when they started to wind him up, he did the right thing. He walked off the park, never got involved with anybody. He just walked off the park, and that's possibly what some of the Rangers players should have done. They should have, maybe it was just an experience with them, maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, but that's what it's all about, these games. And I've never played in one, but Barry's played in one, Gordon Smith's played in one. Until you actually are on that park and get what's going around about, and all credit to Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard said if we'd have won, we'd have been doing the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd have been doing the same. So
but the fallout of it is, you've got, and we're guilty of it in the media, of questioning certain people, whether it be police authorities or MPs, you name it, anything to get a back page or a front page lead on it. This is what the police statement stated today. After consulting with the Crown Office and reviewing the circumstances, Police Scotland is content that the actions of players at the Celtic Rangers match on Sunday were in the wider context of a sporting event. The actions of the players involved are for the relevant sporting authorities to address. And of course, Steven Gerrard today, speaking ahead of their match against Hearts, mentioned the fact that, maybe sometimes police actually don't cut the players and the team some slack because they don't understand.
I don't know a police officer who's ever played in an Old Firm game, so I'm not sure they really understand the emotional side of it for both sets of players, for coaches. So yeah, to a certain degree, I totally agree with it, and we all have to take responsibility for that. But at the same time of it, police officers have never played in an Old Firm, so they need to understand from the players' point of view that sometimes, these games, it's very tough. It's very tough out there, and decisions you make, sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong.
Yep, and of course now, as far as the decisions that were taken on the park, Morelos with a red card is indeed out for 4 games. Rangers will be without him, and he has offered an apology on Instagram, which of course we were waiting to see what kind of statement he would make. Good afternoon, I'd like to offer an apology to all the fans, my teammates and the coaching staff for what happened in yesterday's match. I promise to do everything in my power to ensure nothing like that happens again and to give the club and the fans my all. Thanks for the support and affection you've always given me, Alfredo Morelos. Now, time is running out. Will he be here for next season in a Rangers jersey? Well, for the immediate future, Steven Gerrard clearly feels as if the player in question has shown remorse.
I think he has showed remorse and accepted the punishment I've gave him. As representation, we've spoke to them as well, so everyone's on the same page, and now it's just a decision for the club and the people above me to decide where the fine goes to. But Alfredo's accepted it, showed remorse, and he's apologised. I think he put that public himself, which I think was the right thing to do, and we draw a line under it. Now moving forward, we hope Alfredo learns the hard way, and we wait now for him to return to help us in the final push.
Yeah, well, I think there's 800 Rangers fans who were listening to Steven Gerrard at the weekend, and they're thinking, well, if he's on 20 grand, that's 800, let's split it among. I mean, they all thought they were getting way down.
I think Steven makes good points there. Steven Gerrard makes good points there about the special circumstances, not just of Rangers v Celtic, but any football match. I'm on record, and I feel very, very strongly about this. But this idea of goading, this idea of forcing people into doing things, footballers, inciting fans to do things, is just preposterous. You have to be responsible for your own actions. That's life, I'm afraid. You do what you do because you do it, not because, a big boy did it and ran away, or I did this because, Scott Brown did this, or Candeas did that, or Halliday did that. I can't accept that. I think as well, though, that this game coming when it did as well, and its effects afterwards, it will probably run until tomorrow night, and then the focus will be off it, and the news story will be what happened tomorrow night.
Yeah, don't bet on it. Okay, let's see if Hugh's got the answer to tonight's quiz. I know for a fact that Hugh MacDonald won't do what I did last Monday, giving the answer away right away on the Monday night show. But if you know the answer, then get onto our social media on YouTube, Facebook, and of course Twitter. And you never know, you could win one of our team T-shirts in your team's favourite colours. Of course, so we're talking about Rangers, the fallout from the game against Celtic. Now they have to pick themselves up, suspensions and all, for the match at home against Hearts. Hearts have obviously their own problems as well. Here's how that Rangers-Hearts match fits into the full card tomorrow. Aberdeen against Motherwell, Hibs against Kilmarnock, Livingston, Hamilton, of course Rangers, Hearts, St Johnstone, Dundee and St Mirren against Celtic. The way it's looking at the moment, Ikpeazu suffered concussion. Looks as if he's going to miss the game. That's a huge loss for them, to be honest with you, Roughie.
Yeah, there's a rule that I didn't know was there. We suffered it at Partick Thistle. When somebody concussion, it's a 6-day rule that if somebody deems that you have concussion, you can't play for 6 days. So it's a sore one because he is a big player, as we saw at the weekend there. He was just a thorn in the Aberdeen defence. They just couldn't handle him at all, as the winning goal proved. So yeah, Naismith out, him out, you know, it makes them a wee bit vulnerable, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the way things are going, Hugh, you know, Celtic, if certain results, you know, went their way, they could have this wrapped up quicker than I think Neil Lennon anticipates.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was alluding to when I talked about there'll be another narrative after tomorrow night's games, whatever happens. I mean, if Celtic win tomorrow night, you're talking about being on the brink of an 8th successive championship. All eyes, most of the what we call the number ones, the top football writers will be, I think, at Ibrox, because that has a game of which has some allure in that always the team that is beaten in the game in the Sunday, the real kind of forensic analysis is on their next game. Stephen Gerrard's under that again. Hearts, a strong team coming through as well, so that's a fascinating game. But every week, midweek card now, there's so many games there that you know, Dundee, the stuff at the bottom of the league with Dundee, Hamilton at Livingston, etc., very interesting stuff tomorrow night.
Strangely enough, although everybody accepts now with a 13-point advantage, Roughie, that Celtic, it's just a matter of when they get over the line, I don't see Aberdeen catching Rangers.
Well, it's up to them. You know, they're looking over their shoulders at what Rangers do. Hugh's touched on it already. Is there going to be any reaction? But only Rangers can put that to bed. You know, and the more games they win, obviously, it makes it more difficult, because when you come to the split, you've got the best teams, the 6 best teams, and the 6 best teams can take points off of each other. So for me, it's all about Aberdeen.
I think, what about Kilmarnock?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you come up with a great point there, Hugh, but I still, you know, it's 6 points the difference. Are you, at this point, I mean, they were on a poor run, Kilmarnock. Suddenly they've started to get a bit of traction again, dismantled Hamilton Accies at the weekend. But can you see them win the games, and Rangers, you're talking about a Rangers collapse? Yeah,
Rangers would have to collapse. And the other thing as well, though, if you look statistically at the Rangers games against what is almost certainly going to be the top 5. Rangers haven't done well against the top 5. Kilmarnock, in contrast, are the team where you could say could nick points here and there against the top 5. We know they've beaten Celtic and Rangers this season. We know that they can take points from the top 5. I agree with you. I think it's Rangers are second. Don't get me wrong. But if I had to make a case for anybody, I'm more likely to make the case for Kilmarnock than I am for Aberdeen.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously announced today that they've got Chris Burke on another year's extension. He's been great for them. Alan Power's been great as well.
Yeah.
He's signed up as well. I mean, Steve Clarke, I don't know, are they great to watch? Are they good to watch? Are they as good as everybody's making out, Roughie?
I think before they went in that wee slump, obviously Hamilton the weekend, I mean, you take that with a pinch of salt, you know, but they were on a really, really bad run there. I think the early part of the season, they were the team to watch. You know, obviously the big minus for them was Greg Stewart leaving. I think he was a big miss.
Absolutely.
And the team, he gave them that sort of energy up front. But no, I think they'll be there or thereabouts. I think, as I said there, I think the 6 teams that go into that split will believe that they can beat each other. And I think that's why it's so important when it comes out in 3 home games, 2 away games. If you get 3 home games, you know, you're going to fancy your chances, unless you're Aberdeen, you know, because they're better away from home than they are at home.
Yeah, which is the strangest thing ever. I mean, Aberdeen have got Motherwell at home. I wouldn't put any money on them at all. I just don't know. If you think of some of the games that Aberdeen should have been winning, especially, can you imagine their home form was as good as their away form? They would have been up there. And they I don't know, I can't put my finger on why they can't perform in front of their own fans.
And there have been real shockers amongst them. I mean, Hamilton, is it, you know, just have to say that. That's been a real that was a shocker for them. I don't know, is it a mixture of, yes, they're a team that likes to spring. They're a team that likes to come out and counter-attack.
Yeah.
Is it, are the players at one point in the season, subconsciously, not in any team meeting, but subconsciously say, you know what, the best chance for us is the Cup this year, and we're going to go hell for leather in the Cup. I don't know, but at home, the collapse at home has been spectacular, Peter.
I actually think, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think the positions in the league table at the minute is exactly how it's going to finish at the end of the season. You know, if you have a look at the league table in the Premiership, Celtic, Rangers, Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Hearts and Hibs is how I see it. I don't think Motherwell will catch Hibs.
No.
But I see that's my 1 to 6, the way it is at the moment. Roughie, would you like to tinker with it?
Yeah, I think that there could be some tinkering. I think Aberdeen will move up a wee bit. I don't think Kilmarnock will maintain that 3rd place, and I think Hibs will take over Hearts.
Okay, there you are. There's a surprise in Edinburgh. People, Hearts fans, falling off their chair as Roughie predicts the Hibbies to overtake them.
To be fair, I think there's some statistical, evidence that, to back that up. 16 points out of 18 for Higginbotham as Hibs manager suggests that they're not going to slump anytime soon. I've liked the way he's gone about his business. Apparently, he doesn't give great press conferences. Keeps but that's okay. That's up to him. He keeps his cards close to his chest. But the way his teams are set up and playing, I think have been pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm always a little bit reticent to actually suggest, it's all about Paul Heckingbottom and what he's doing, because I always feel as if managers can come in and take over and inherit something, and there's more of a chance of them making that smooth transition until such times as they have to build their own side.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because there's an upside and a downside to that, in that there's 2 jobs that have changed hands recently, the Hibs job and the Celtic job, which are not jobs that changed hands in the normal way. Normally jobs change hands because the place is in crisis. Lots of results. So the 2 managers, both Neil Lennon, who's central to both narratives, has went in, and Higginbotham went into teams that really didn't need that much. It needed to, and I think it's been easier for Higginbotham because he's been in a situation where it's his job and he can tinker with it and do what he wants. Where it's been more difficult for Neil Lennon, because he's gone in and he said, listen, I can't tinker too much. This isn't my team yet. It's not my job. I've got to curtail my natural impulses here. I mean, for example, I think Neil, and I'm just saying this, I don't know, I've not spoken to him about it, I think Neil would rather Celtic didn't play out quite as much from the back. I think Neil would be, given his previous management career, would be wanting the ball into the danger area much more quickly. But he has to play within a framework at the moment because it isn't his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Just briefly, Roughie, at the bottom end, I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, Dundee, St Mirren. I think the Ackies, if they get anything from the Livingston game, that could be a huge boost for them. Any kind of cushion now. I'm actually thinking, I'm changing day by day here. I don't know whether Dundee can get out of it. I thought they would.
Well, I think it's all about confidence. I think it's all about going into games with a win at your back. St Mirren have done that, so they'll go into the next game with a wee bit of confidence. Dundee can't buy a win just now, so they're going into games a wee bit apprehensive. But at the end of the day, it's big players who turn up in big games.
Yeah. Hugh, Aberdeen Mullow, who wins?
Draw.
Hibs against Kilmarnock.
Draw.
There you are. 4 more and you're there. Livingston Hamilton.
I think Hamilton might nick that. You know that. There you go.
Starts.
I think Rangers might just sneak it.
Yep. St Johnstone Dundee.
Dundee have to win, so I'll go for Dundee.
And St Mirren Celtic.
I think Celtic will win.
Okay, there you have it. He's given his opinion all the way from the start of the show right until the end. That's why he's here. That's what you get on the programme from Roughie, Hugh MacDonald and myself, Peter Martin. Don't forget you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And of course, thanks for joining us on the programme. We'll see you tomorrow.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.